Hey guys, welcome to a new video. This is an exciting one. I've been planning for and working on this video all year. I've been collecting all of the empties, all of the products that I've used up in my Freelance makeup kit this year. And I'm going to go through everything with you guys. I'm going to give you some little reviews on the products that I use, let you know whether I have repurchased them, whether I think they're good to have in your makeup kit. And yeah, I just think this is a really interesting video and I love filming this one for you guys every year at the end of the year. So let's jump right into the video. Okay, I'm just gonna start pulling things randomly out of this bag. Every time I used up a product in my kit, I tried to save it and bring it home with me and add it to my bag of trash to share with you guys. And yeah, let's just get started. I'm gonna pull these out right off the top because they're all kind of sitting here in the way. I go through so much of this stuff. This is Cinema Secrets Makeup Brush Cleaner. This is the most amazing cleaner for removing the makeup from your brushes. It does such a good job of removing powders like eyeshadows or blushes or creams like foundation, cream bronzer, anything. It takes it right out of your brushes, makes them really nice and fresh and clean. I find it makes my brush washing so much faster every week when I am removing the makeup first with the makeup brush cleanser and then going in with my regular dish soap shampoo wash that I do every single week on my brushes. So love this stuff, go through a ton of it. I'm also almost out of another one of these big bottles. I have like this much left. So I truly have gone through so much of it this year. Got another big one here. This is the Garnier Micellar Cleansing Water. I use micellar water on essentially every single client. I will always start my makeup applications by prepping the client's skin, and the first step to prepping the skin is to cleanse it. So I will put a little bit of micellar water on a cotton pad, rub it all over the client's face to remove any dirt, oil, leftover makeup from the night before. Even if they've just freshly washed their face, I find this will always take away something, and cleansing the skin is just so important for a fresh base to go on top of. That's another one actually where I have just a tiny bit left to finish up the year in a second bottle. So tons of micellar water gone through this year. Next up, I have a brow pencil. This is the Benefit Goof Proof Brow Pencil in the shade 5. My favorite brow pencils are from Charlotte Tilbury. I really like the shape of them, and I like that you can just buy refills and add them back into the pencil, and you can save a little bit of money on them that way. That's great for a makeup kit. Any place where you can save dollars is fantastic, but sometimes I'm in the need of something really quickly and I just need to grab it from Sephora. I don't have time to order it and wait for it to come in from Charlotte Tilbury, so that's how I ended up with this guy right here. Do love the Goof Proof brow pencils. I'm actually using one for myself in my everyday makeup routine right now, and shade 5 was, I think, the darkest one they carried, like a black or a black brown type situation. Next up, I went through a container of my facial radiance pads. I talked about these in my best favorite products of the year video. I'll link that down below if you guys want to see my favorite products from my makeup kit this year, but spoiler alert, this is one of them. This little container comes full of little cotton pads that are soaking in a happy little liquid. It's alcohol free, so it's good for sensitive skin, and it does a really good job of doing a light exfoliation before I go in with the skincare. If you are a makeup artist, you know a lot of clients don't take very good care of their skin, and the makeup that you put on is only going to look as good as the skin underneath. And one of the biggest differences that someone can make in terms of their makeup going on smoothly is exfoliating. What exfoliation does is it removes the dead skin from your face so that your skincare can penetrate deeper, which during a makeup application can be really important, because if I'm applying layers of skincare on top of dead skin and the skincare can't penetrate down and sink into the skin, then that skincare has nowhere to go except for out. And then instead of having really nice hydrated skin, we're gonna have oily skin because all of that skincare has nowhere to go, and it's gonna go back up through the makeup and make everything look oily and cause the makeup to separate. So having a light exfoliation is gonna help with that. It's also gonna help with texture. It's gonna make the makeup go on more smoothly. So I absolutely love these, and I use them on majority of my clients as well, unless they already have perfect skin, unless they've been taking care of their skin, unless they tell me they've just exfoliated that morning or the night before and I don't want to over exfoliate. But yeah, I love these guys and I highly recommend adding them to your makeup kit. Next up, I have a Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream refill. A lot of Charlotte Tilbury products now come with refills, which I love. So the way that it works is you have your little jar and then you can just pop out this little inner part, the white part here, which is what this is. And that way you're not creating a ton of waste. And again, you can get a little bit of a discount on your refill product. I'm gonna see if this is the only one I have or if I have multiples. Here's another one. Yes, so it looks like I went through 2 Charlotte Tilbury Magic Creams this year. This is the absolute best makeup primer. It's an amazing moisturizer that works great for anybody with dry to normal skin. If someone has oily skin, I do use a different moisturizer in my kit, but it's amazing for most clients. And this is my beauty hack for like the best looking foundation. If you want your foundation to look amazing, go in with Magic Cream as your primer and then go in with your foundation on top, and everything is gonna look smooth and plump and rich and shiny and glowy and dewy and healthy and all of the good words that you want. Magic Cream is it. It's such a good hack. It also feels amazing on the skin when I'm applying it for clients. So many of them will ask me, oh my God, what is that? It feels so good. It's got aloe vera in it, so it's really nice and soothing and calming, and I absolutely love Magic Cream and will continue to repurchase it for my kit for eternity, I feel. Okay, I went through a lip mask. As I'm prepping my client's skin, I will always go in with a lip mask for the duration of the makeup appointment so that their lips are nice and hydrated by the time I'm applying the lipstick at the end. Also, lots of times I won't do lipstick until the end of the appointment. Lots of times I'm doing weddings and the clients who are going first, second, third in the order are not going to be leaving the house for like 5-6 hours, and their lipstick just isn't gonna last that long. So I like to pop on a nice hydrating mask for them to wear as they're going about their morning, so that when finally it's time to apply their makeup and for them to head out the door, their lips are really nice and hydrated. This lip mask is called Mask Bar. It's Korean white peach with honey, a moisturizing, soothing lip sleeping mask. This is another one I just popped up at Shoppers when I had run out of the one that I was using previously. And I did like it. I didn't find it was like super hydrating, but the clients really loved the smell and the feel of it. So I did like it for that part of it, that it made the clients happy. But I've switched to the Laneige lip sleeping mask because I just find it adds a little bit more hydration and it gives some nice shine to the lips if I want to add that on top of someone's lipstick, and I just find it a little bit more hydrating, a little bit more versatile, and it also has a delicious scent, so I wouldn't purchase this one again. Next up I have lash glue. Let me see if I have any more. Looks like this is the only one. I live for Duo lash glue. I like the one in the tube because I find it's the most hygienic and it's the easiest to use, and Duo is the one that I trust the most. I find that it's the stickiest. It's also like really easy to find. They have it all over the city at any drugstore, and yeah, Duo's great. Fantastic lash glue. Next up, I've got some foundation. Let me see if I have any more. Okay, I've got a couple of them. Charlotte Tilbury Magic Foundation. If you guys have been around for the last couple of years, you know this was my favorite foundation to use in my Freelance kit. It was a medium to full coverage foundation with a demi matte finish. I loved this product. When you put it on, it gave beautiful coverage and it looked better and better the longer and longer you wore it. It was just an absolutely amazing, beautiful product, and I spent years after she discontinued this trying to find a replacement for my kit. I've since found a foundation that I love. I would dare to say even more. I did use up 2 shades. This was 3.5 and shade 6 in the Magic Foundation. I'm just using up the last of what I have in my kit of this guy and then replacing it with the new foundation that I've found to, yeah, replace it with. So 2 of those guys there. Okay, let's talk mascara. I go through mascara more than anything else in my kit, so I try to get formulas that are a little bit on the more affordable side. I feel like when it comes to mascara, when you are getting a more expensive mascara from a higher end brand, what you're mostly paying for is the brush, the wand, the type of applicator that you're using to apply it to the lashes. A lot of the formulas are super similar. My previous favorite formula for mascara was the Essence I Love Extreme Volume Waterproof Mascara. Because I'm mostly doing weddings and events, my makeup for my clients needs to last for a really long time, and so any place where I can use a waterproof product, I will. I loved this. I've been through so many of these over the years, but I was becoming a little bit disenchanted with it. I don't know if they changed the formula or if my preferences just changed, but I was finding it wasn't dark enough, it wasn't black enough for what I needed it to do, so I switched to kind of a classic mascara. This is the Great Lash Mascara from Maybelline. Again, I have it in waterproof. I get it in the darkest black color that they have, and this works really well. It's really nice and black. It's nice and waterproof. The packaging also isn't as long physically, so I'm able to, I feel like, get more of the product out of the packaging as opposed to something like this. My disposable wands, they don't reach all the way down to the bottom, so I feel like I'm wasting product down in the bottom here. Yeah, I bought a bunch of these because they were on sale one day, and it's been working out really well for me. So I've switched over to the Maybelline Great Lash, but yeah, used up a ton of mascara this year. Got a brush in here, look at this. This used to be like a fluffy blending eyeshadow brush, and it just got used and washed and cleaned so many times that the bristles started to just break off. Then it was a little bit sparse, which was actually quite nice for applying cream products. It was kind of like a little duo fiber. But yeah, eventually all of the bristles essentially just broke off, and that was the end of this brush. Another little tool that had its fair share in the sun was this Charlotte Tilbury sharpener. Look at this thing. I actually love the Charlotte Tilbury pencil sharpener. It does such an amazing job. I use a lot of Charlotte Tilbury pencils for my lip liners, and then it also works really well with any other pencils that I have in my kit as well. But the blades in here are really good quality, so I got a really great sharpen every time I used it, and it lasted for such a long time. Like, the blades in here are still good, like they still work, but the packaging itself has just completely broken and fallen apart, so I've since replaced this. Another Maybelline product. I buy mostly high-end products for my kit. There are a couple of things that I purchase drugstore versions of, just because I feel like the drugstore versions are better than the higher end versions. And one of those is the Maybelline gel liner. This is in the color Blackest Black. It's waterproof. Anytime anyone wants a winged liner, or if I need some extra control with my eyeliner, I will always go in with a gel liner. It's just the easiest one for me to use, so I go through a ton of this. I always carry black and brown in my kit. Got a few concealers here. I have the original formula of the Makeup Forever Ultra HD concealer in the shades 30 and 20. This was my favorite concealer of all time. I loved it for both myself and for my clients. It gave beautiful full coverage without being thick or heavy. It worked for mature skin, it worked for dry skin, it worked for oily skin. It was just so amazing. And then they reformulated it and they came out with this one right here. This is the Makeup Forever HD Skin. This is a completely different product. This is really beautiful if you want something that just looks like skin. I'd say it has about a medium coverage, but it blends into the skin and it looks completely seamless, completely flawless. Unfortunately, it does not have enough coverage for me and for what my clients are looking for. I'm generally doing more high glam makeup looks. So I tried this guy out, but I'm not gonna be repurchasing these anymore in the future. If you're doing makeup for like film or TV and you need it to look like your client or your, what are they called? I don't know, the person you're doing makeup on is not supposed to be wearing any makeup, this would be an amazing product for you. But yeah, just for the type of clients that I have, it doesn't work. And I'm so sad that they discontinued the Ultra HD. This concealer was so amazing. Makeup Forever, please, please bring it back. Another foundation that I went through, I actually carry 2 different foundations in my kit. Well, now I have a few more than 2 different foundations because I was testing out so many different formulas, but I like to have something more full coverage and something lighter coverage. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Light Wonder foundation. It's a light coverage foundation with a skin-like finish. She has also discontinued this. This is such a beautiful product. One of my favorite foundations ever. It came with 40 ml, which is really nice. That's 10 ml more than a foundation typically comes with. And it's so good for mature skin, for people who don't really need a lot of coverage, but just kind of need a little bit of evening out, something for the rest of their makeup to stick to. Also, clients who are afraid of their makeup being cakey or heavy, I will always go in with this product instead. And yeah, unfortunately, it no longer exists. I heard from my friend who works at Charlotte Tilbury that this was being discontinued, so I found out before she got rid of it and I bought a bunch of backups. So I still have backups of this to go through, but I don't know what I'm gonna do when I run out of it. I'm gonna have to find something different to replace it with, and we'll go through that search together here on my channel. But for in the meantime, I've got lots of backups of this guy right here, and I finished this one. It was shade number 5. Looks like I used up 2 of the Charlotte Tilbury Eyes to Mesmerize cream shadows. Actually, I did not use these up. I decluttered these from my makeup kit when I went through it and did a clean out earlier this year. I actually filmed that as well. The Charlotte Tilbury Eyes to Mesmerize are one of my favorite go-to products in my kit. They are cream shadows. They have a beautiful shimmer to them. I like to use them as bases, and she came out with matte versions and they came in the most stunning, beautiful colors, and I was so excited about them. However, the formula just really wasn't there. You can see I hardly even got any use out of these before I decided to just stop trying to make them work. The formula is just too thick and firm. It's impossible to blend. I don't know what they were thinking with these, but it's just not it. It doesn't work. They're super long wearing, but they're just impossible to work with. And yeah, I'm decluttering and throwing these away, and do not recommend picking up the matte version of the Eyes to Mesmerize. If you want some beautiful cream shadows, get the glowy ones. I went through a package of cotton pads. These are just the ones from Quo. I like them because they are a little bit bigger. They come in like a nice square shape. They feel like a good quality cotton. And like I said, I cleanse everyone's skin before I start their makeup, so I go through a ton of cotton. Looks like I used up a lipstick this year. This was Stoned Rose. So not sure if you can see the color there, but Stoned Rose is a Charlotte Tilbury lipstick. It has a satin finish. It's a beautiful kind of warm, peachy, pinky nude. I love it for medium skin tones. Medium to deep skin tones. It's a little bit pinker on a deep skin tone, a little bit more like orangey warmy on a medium skin tone. And yeah, I absolutely love this shade, and I went through an entire container of it this year. This is a product that no longer exists. A friend of mine had come out with a makeup brand quite some time ago. I think in around 2019. It was called Catherine Isabella, and I had tested out a few of her products. The ones that I liked the best were her cream blushes. So I had picked up her cream blush in a couple of shades. This one was in the color Lovey Dovey. It was like a nice bright pop of pink. And I finally finished that up this year. I've got a few lip liners. I'd say after mascara, lip liner is probably my second most used product that I go through. So I've got a bunch of little stubby lip liners here. I've got one from ColourPop. I had this in the color, I think this was BFF or BFF2. It was a really nice kind of pinky nudie brown shade, but I don't really like these ColourPop liners. They dry out super quickly, so not great for having in your kit. You know, when you have lip liners in your kit, you have so many different shades and you're not using the same one over and over again, and so you're not going through it as quickly as maybe someone who's using a lip liner for their personal use. And yeah, it just dried out like super fast. Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't buy from ColourPop again. I have some of their bronzers and stuff in my kit right now too that I'm just trying to get through, trying to work through them. They're just, yeah, not my favorite brand. And then I've got a bunch of little Charlotte Tilbury lip liners as well. Looks like I have two Pillow Talk lip liners, one Am I Kiss, and one potentially Savage Rose, a red, a rose, and then two like Your Lips But Better type colors. Another product I decluttered. This is a lip gloss from Bite Beauty, a brand that no longer exists. So this was a really cool, really interesting lip gloss. I actually got given this for free. I didn't buy it. And I carried it around in my kit for so long because it's just so fun and interesting and unique. But this shade, it doesn't work for anybody. I have another one of these that I kept in my kit that's more of like a coppery red type of shimmery shift. And that looks so beautiful on a deeper skin tone. I love that gloss. But this one with the purpley pink silver shift, I just feel like this shade, it doesn't work for anybody. So I was never using it. This brand is well and truly gone. And even though it still smells good, this is probably expired. So we're getting rid of it. Looks like I went through a blush. I'm hesitant to open this because a lot of times these just break at the end. Okay, so this was Ecstasy from Charlotte Tilbury. I have one right here in my own makeup. Actually, I can show you the color. So this is what the color looks like. It's a really beautiful peachy pink. If someone wants a natural flush to the cheek that's a little bit more on the peachy side, if you're doing kind of like a summery, bronzy, glowy look, Ecstasy is so amazing for that. And I went through an entire one of these blushes. The thing with these Charlotte Tilbury blushes is that the way that they're packaged and like pressed into the pans, as you get down and you start using up the product, it gets really thin in there and then it eventually just kind of cracks and breaks. So I didn't use all of it, but I used most of it and then the rest of it just kind of like broke out of the pan. So yeah, it was good while it lasted. Good little blush, works for so many different skin tones in so many different types of looks. I've got a few eyeliners here, some little pencil stubs. So I've been on kind of a mission to find my favorite eyeliner pencils. I used to use the Charlotte Tilbury Rock and Coal pencils, which these are really amazing. They're super creamy, really smooth, and then once they go on, they can be quite waterproof. They come in really nice shades. I love how black the black is. I love the shade of the brown, but they don't last the best in the waterline and they are quite expensive. So this Charlotte Tilbury one I used up in Barbarella Brown. And then after I finished up with that, I mean, I've been through so many of those pencils over the years. I decided to try out the Makeup Forever, the Aqua pencil, I think these are called. I got this in black in waterproof. This goes on super black and really creamy and smooth, but I had such problems with this transferring. As soon as someone would open their eye, the product would transfer up onto their eyelids so quickly and easily. The thing with the Charlotte Tilbury one is it would go on and it would be creamy and smooth and kind of malleable for the perfect amount of time. But by the time you were finished kind of getting it on there and working with it and doing what you needed to do with it, and then the client opened their eyes, it would be dried down, it would be set. It was like the perfect kind of application time. These take forever to set. So you get the eyeliner on and then I would have to ask my clients to leave their eyes closed while their eyeliner set. Which is not ideal. It also was really, really slippery. It didn't stay in the waterline at all. So I did not like these Makeup Forever Aqua pencils. And then a friend of mine recommended to me the Sephora 12-hour pencils, and I have not stopped talking about these ever since. I recommend them in all of the Sephora sale videos that I do. I talked about these in my top products of the year video. They're just so amazing. They come in so many different colors. They are so waterproof. They go on and they stay in the waterline forever and ever. So I have here a black, a nude, and tiramisu, a brown. So a black, a nude, and a brown. And those are the three colors of liners that I always carry with me. I kind of change out the tones of my browns. Sometimes they're a little warmer, sometimes they're a little darker, but I'll always have a black, a nude, and a brown with me in my kit. And these Sephora 12-hour pencils have taken over. They are absolutely the best. We've got a few brow pencils here. I had mentioned to you guys I really like the Charlotte Tilbury brow pencils because they are refillable. So this is what the little refills look like. You just buy these little refills and then you pop them into the packaging like so. I actually had 2 of these natural brown colored pencils in my kit, so I'm getting rid of the entire package because I can continue to buy refills for the other component that I still have in my kit. But yeah, I've got one in natural brown and then one in blonde. I love the blonde color in the Charlotte Tilbury pencils. It works so good for blondes. Blondes are always asking me what color this is because they have such a hard time finding a good color for their eyebrows, and this one is so good. And then I also have this little Precisely My Brow from Benefit. This was a really nice color as well, actually. Shade number 3. I really liked this for people who had warmer toned hair, people with reddish tones in their hair. This color worked really nicely for that. I'm not sure how I got this pencil, if it was a little sample or if it came in a set or something, but yeah, I had been using in my kit and used it up. The tip on this one was super, super fine. I prefer ones like this that have more of that like triangular shape tip. They're just quicker and easier, and yeah, I just like them better than the super fine ones, but this Benefit one was good, totally good. Benefit brow products are always going to be great, you know? And then the last thing that I have in here is, of course, a Laura Mercier eye base. I go through so many of these. I can't believe I only have one for the year. This was in the color Linen, but I've tested out so many different eyeshadow bases, and the best one that I've found over the years is the one from Laura Mercier. It comes in different shades. It just goes onto the lid so nice and smooth, and it really helps eyeshadow last longer, prevents oils from coming through, gives a nice base to put eyeshadow on top of. Just really love this product so much. And yeah, used to waste so much product because the applicator, it doesn't reach all the way down to the bottom, so there would always be this like little amount of product left in the bottom, and it would drive me crazy. Like so many uses worth of product would be stuck in the tube. But I started using my little lip applicators that I have in my kit for giving to customers to apply their lipstick with when I give them touch-up kits, and they're a little bit longer, so I'm actually able to get right down into the bottom of this component and use up so much more of the product in here, so that makes me really happy. And yeah, I will continue to repurchase this forever because it just is the best. If anybody has an eyeshadow primer that they love that's more affordable, I would love to hear about it. Laura Mercier doesn't have a pro discount where I live, so I'm paying full price for these, and they're not cheap, and I go through a ton of them because I'm using eyeshadow primer on like every single person. So yeah, if you have a favorite, let me know down below, but don't tell me like NARS or something that's the same or costs more, because I don't want something if it's gonna cost the same, because if I'm gonna buy one for this price, I'm gonna buy this one. But if you have a cheaper one that you love, let me know so I can test it out. And that is it, you guys. All of the makeup that I used up for my freelance kit this year. I love collecting all my trash for you and sharing this video with you every December. You guys don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. That's gonna help more people to see it too. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys.